Are electricians' arms calibrated for torque?
Imagine this, you're off on holiday, plane's revving at the end of the runway, there's a few nervous people on the plane next to you. You'd like to think, when Boeing built the plane, and when it's been subsequently maintained and serviced, that the people doing that followed the manufacturer's instructions, particularly with regards to torque. So welcome to eFIXX Talk the Talk, the game show where we check whether electricians' arms are in fact calibrated. What have you got on the wall behind us this week, Gary?
Food and consumer unit, torque setting of 2.5 Newton meters. Individual RCBOs, 2.5 Newton meters. Earth and neutral bars, 2 Newton meters of
Three-phase isolators, 0.8 Newton meters. Easy base here, 5 Newton meters of torque.
So it's time to meet this week's contestants.
Matt and Marcus.
Former college lecturers.
Richard, who's an adult retrainer. Sophie, who's training to be an electrician at college. Lewis, who is also a retained firefighter. Ross Sands from the spa town of Harrogate. We've got Glenn.
Adam, possibly the easiest of all our contestants on the old eye.
Will, almost the same height as you, Gary. Lewis, who currently works in the new build housing market. Graham, who has recently retired.
The 14th edition is what I started with.
In round one of Talk the Talk, we are not going to tell any of our contestants the torque settings that the equipment behind us requires.
So we're asking the electrician to take their pre-calibrated arm and their engineering judgment in order to do up all the terminations behind us.
We've bought this device from Amiga Engineering that can measure precisely the amount of torque that's been put into the screw heads.
Let's start with that main switch. 2.5 Newton meters of torque required by the manufacturer.
Okay, the lowest value was 0.78 Newton meters of torque.
And the highest?
5.38 Newton meters.
Let's go for the isolators, 0.8 Newton meters.
The lowest setting was 0.6 and the maximum was an impressive 1.62 Newton meters.
Easy EV charger, 5 Newton meters of torque. How did they do?
Well, one contestant got the 4.7 Newton meters, but the lowest was a 1.06.
So the conclusion from round number one, they got nowhere near the required setting. Round number two, they now know the torque setting. So if we go back to that easy EV charger, how close were we to 5 Newton meters of torque second time round?
Our minimum this time, 2.1 Newton meters. For some reason, the CPC, 7 contestants managed to get that exact.
The one that doesn't carry any current, they managed to get it to the required torque setting, and the ones that are carrying current were randomly around at different numbers.
Not one of them achieved the correct torque setting.
Okay, let's go for the isolators.
Our minimum torque setting this time went from 0.34. The maximum was a 1.62.
So now returning to our consumer unit.
Things did improve this time, Gary. A minimum setting of 1.07. A maximum this time 3.83 Newton meters.
We posed the question at the start, are electricians' arms calibrated for torque? The answer is no.
Just remember, there's no such thing as a calibrated arm.